Howard Love, The Startup JCurve, The 6 Steps to Entrepreneurial Success. Embarking on a startup journey can be exhilarating, but it often comes with unpredicted hurdles and constant changes. The summary of The Startup JCurve, The 6 Steps to Entrepreneurial Success by Howard Love provides a comprehensive guide on navigating the startup landscape and overcoming the so-called Valley of Death. Delve into the 6 phases every entrepreneur must endure: create, release, morph, model, scale, and harvest. Understand the importance of flexibility, customer feedback, and consistent iteration in the process of building a successful venture. This summary will empower you with the insights and knowledge required to forge ahead on your entrepreneurial path, unearthing the secrets of leaders who have successfully adapted, innovated, and attained their goals.
The 6 phases of a successful startup. Starting a business is not a linear process. In fact, over 90% of startups will need to change their initial plans multiple times before finding success. This is where the Startup JCurve comes in, a predictable pattern that outlines the 6 phases that every successful startup goes through. The first 4 stages, create, release, morph, and model, make up the challenging Valley of Death, where founders need to be flexible and iterate more than focusing on the initial product concept. Customer feedback is crucial at this stage, as it is more valuable than sales. The final 2 stages represent the vertical portion of the letter J, where the company begins to earn increasing profits. Successful entrepreneurs should be aware of this pattern and make smart moves at each stage, avoiding jumping to the scale and harvest phases before working out basic, morph and model issues. With a long-term time horizon and a deep understanding of the Startup JCurve, any entrepreneur can build enterprise value and achieve success. Entrepreneurial success. Creating a successful startup goes beyond having a great idea. In fact, only 5% of a new enterprise's value comes from the idea itself. Execution, flexibility, and the ability to iterate and adapt are crucial to transforming a good idea into a successful enterprise. Entrepreneurs must focus on developing a product or service that solves a problem and developing a team to execute it. The create phase of a startup is the time to raise money and focus on elements such as the idea, team, and money. Startups must be prepared to make substantial changes to their original plan to ensure success. The key to success is executing a great idea, as seen with Uber, which became a $50 billion enterprise through excellent execution, not just a good idea. Creating a PowerPoint pitch deck that presents the company purpose, problem, solution, why now, market size, competition, product, business model, team, and financials can help startups get the funding they need to take off. Getting your product to market. To successfully release a product, avoid procrastination and perfectionism. Instead, launch a minimum viable product (MVP) to test and evaluate customer feedback. Concentrate on mission-critical matters, work hard, and make quick decisions to remain lean and fast during the early phases. Focus on what customers are saying, as their reactions are more important than sales figures. This approach helped Lee Iacocca bring Chrysler back to life. He instructed engineers to remove the roof from a sedan and launched the convertible within months, which succeeded among customers. Morphing for success. Successful startups adapt their products and strategies to customer feedback. The initial product may morph into something entirely different, and entrepreneurs must be willing to iterate and change as necessary. Entrepreneurs often believe that their original vision will lead to success. However, most startups must learn from their mistakes and adapt their products or strategies to survive. This process, called morphing, involves making major shifts to the product or strategy. The end result may bear no resemblance to the original concept. The key to successful morphing is being flexible and willing to learn from customer feedback. Startups should aim to create a product that a small number of users love, rather than a product that a large number of users like. William Wrigley's success is a prime example of this approach. His original products were baking powder and soap, but he pivoted to focus on the gum he gave away as a promotion when he saw its popularity. Successful startups embrace morphing and iterate their product and business plan based on customer feedback. They understand that the only failure that counts is entrepreneurial failure, and they are willing to change and change again until they find the right formula for success. Money is also not a hindrance because they need far less than they think to survive the phases. Boost your business model. To move to the next stage of your JCurve, you need to treat your business model as a hypothesis that your customers will confirm, determine, and validate. The range of business models is more limited than the number of possible products, so figuring out your ideal model is easier than identifying the ideal offering. Your business model must feature high profit margins, low friction, high leverage, network effects, repeatability, and scalability. If you are not willing to tolerate the possibility of failure, you should not be in the startup business. To become a billion-dollar company, you need to turn down offers and keep your focus on increasing sales, minimizing costs, and maximizing revenues and margins. Navigating growth, scale phase. In the scale phase of a startup, entrepreneurs must transition from a small operation to a larger organization with new management and expertise. This stage requires finding a balance between establishing a business model and achieving customer traction before attempting to scale. Timing is critical, as scaling too soon or too late can have negative consequences. While scaling is costly, entrepreneurs can approach venture capitalists for the necessary funds. Despite the challenges, the world needs innovation and venturesome entrepreneurs to embark on such journeys. Winning at each stage. A startup CEO should expect to make puffball decisions during the growth stage, adopt a bad news is good news approach in product development, and pace their growth during the harvest phase. According to the author, many startups can expect to grow by 100 to 200% during the scale phase. However, during the harvest phase, growth typically slows to 30 to 40% compared to other organizations. The founder can accelerate value creation through compounding, and typical liquidity options include starting an IPO, company sale, share buybacks, and paying dividends. The endurance test of entrepreneurship requires pace and focus. Ramen Profits. The concept of ramen profitability is earning enough to live on a budget and keep your business afloat without capital inflows. This translates to being a real business that is generating sufficient sales. By achieving this level of financial stability, securing investment capital becomes more accessible. Entrepreneurs are advised to target at least 30 investment sources and approach many simultaneously to maximize funding opportunities. Ultimately, meeting with about 15 sources can yield 1 or 2 successful investments. Embracing startup failures. Startup failures can be classified into tactical, operational, and catastrophic. While catastrophic failure of the enterprise must be avoided, tactical or operational failures are valuable learning experiences. They provide opportunities to refine the product, service, or business model, ultimately leading to customer traction and sustained revenue over the long term. Success is not a linear path, embrace the failures and learn from them. Overcoming startup obstacles. Successful entrepreneurs use fear of failure as a motivational tool and persevere amidst inevitable crises. Passionate dedication to one's goals is key to surmounting difficulties. The ability to handle challenges is a defining trait of an entrepreneur, as startups present numerous hurdles to overcome. Remember, nobody starts off fully equipped to tackle these obstacles. How big corporations can foster entrepreneurial spirit. Successful corporations lack innovation due to their aversion to risk and failure. To promote an entrepreneurial spirit, senior executives can consider implementing the Steve Jobs approach of setting up a small team to try new things and fail periodically until they find a winner. Designating new offerings as beta and using established distribution networks can help release products quickly, while listening to customer feedback and iterating accordingly can help companies morph their offerings to find the consumer sweet spot. The last 3 phases of model, scale, and harvest may suit big companies, but the first three are essential for fostering innovation. Cracking the code to startup success. Get ready for failure and secure cash for your startup. Most successful startups take time to achieve liquidity, so work towards positive cash flow as soon as possible. Transforming a startup idea into a flourishing business venture can be challenging. The road to success is filled with ups and downs, and most startups fail before they achieve their goal. This summary emphasizes the importance of acknowledging potential failures and learning from them. The key takeaway is to secure as much cash as possible, reduce expenditures, and focus on achieving positive cash flow as quickly as possible. According to the author, most successful startups take 7 to 10 years to achieve liquidity. So, being patient, resilient, and optimistic are the fundamental traits that startup entrepreneurs must possess.
After examining the 6 pivotal phases and essential aspects of startup success, we arrive at several crucial takeaways for entrepreneurs. Learning from the JCurve, it becomes apparent that iterations, customer feedback, and flexibility are indispensable in the process of building a thriving enterprise. By understanding the stages of create, release, morph, model, scale, and harvest, entrepreneurs can identify smart decisions and steer clear of potential pitfalls. Moreover, maintaining an adaptable attitude and embracing failure as a learning tool are integral to transitioning from an initial idea to an influential business. Armed with this understanding, entrepreneurs are better equipped to multiply their chances of success and achieve long-lasting results in their ventures.